Okay, so I think you can see how the daily or the weekly tracking is going to work. One of the keys is to not let it take too long. If you let it take too long, you'll stop it, or um, you'll forget someday. You and your wife will forget, and you'll go to bed and say, "Oh, we forgot to do the meeting." And you pick a time. Now you do it if it's daily. I would recommend doing it the same time every day. Usually it's first in the morning works for me. And I look at the previous day, or maybe I do some things early in the morning, and then it's right after my prayers and stuff. I'll mark that I did those on the day I did them. Whatever. It's really not hard. You put numbers in where you want to track numbers. You decide. We all have gut feelings about how we did. If your numbers are up, you make it green. If the numbers are down, you make it red. If it's about the same, maybe you make it yellow. If your goal is not to make it go up, some numbers we like weight, we obviously want to go down. Um, but a lot of times it's just, how did I do today? Red, yellow, green. Pick it and put it down. How did we do this week on this? And do it together. If you're a couple and you're not doing it together, you're blowing it because you're not actually agreeing on it. This is really one person doing weekly tracking then, and that's not the point. Okay? And then you may, you don't want the meeting to last more than 10, 15 minutes at the most, probably 10. But you can always ask, okay, what do we have to do this week to make a difference? And we'll do that. There's a whole, you can use the system, and I'll show you how to, and there's another lesson about using the system for these things, which works great. Okay, you still use the paper, but I mean for tasks and things like that. But one of the keys to really making things work is once a week, you stop and say, okay, what do we have to do to make a little progress on what's most important? Because our weeks get all crazy, and you don't necessarily but have to do everything. You can't do everything. But if every week you pick out something that you have to do to move the needle for what's most important, and you take the time to agree, maybe it's one each if you're doing it as a couple, I don't know, and you take the time to put that one thing on your calendar. And maybe you write it on the back as a list or something along those lines. Um, but you pick one thing and you do it. And if you do it together and you write it down somewhere, then you can come back together the next week and say, well, did you do this? Or did we do this? And it just keep making a little progress every week. You don't have to make gangbusters of progress. Just a little bit every week, and you'll be shocked at how much you get done. And then you take these, and you get these super strong magnets. You can buy them anywhere, but usually you order them online. The strongest ones I've ever got they're unbelievable. And you hang this on your refrigerator. That way you're seeing it all the time, and maybe other people ask you about it now and then, and that's not a bad thing. If it has to be private and you want to put it up there, when you write the things out, use a little code. You know what they are. Just put some code in there so somebody else looking at it can't figure it out, but and it works fine. Um, but keep it in the public because the public square makes things happen. All right. So do that. Strongly recommend it. And then there's another course out there. It's called Planning Your Week, and then each little tab in the system, there's things called initiatives that can come into play with this, and you can even put it on your phone so that you can give each other tasks, through the week if that's something you guys do, and maybe you're not that good at it if it's a couple, or give yourself tasks. But there's a course about planning your week, and it's worth it because planning the week around this meeting and this tracking, all the difference in the world. Thank you.